I was playing. Assassin's Creed. Uh, Lipetry? Lipetry? I don't know. Assassin's Creed Lipetry. Okay. Nick, let me play the Black Assassin. Now this Assassin's Creed takes place in a slavery era, which is I don't get it. I mean, there will never be slaves since the 1800s. How is it possible would they still slaves back in 1600s? Because Assassin's Creed, since Assassin's Creed 4, well, now to be fair, the very first Assassin's Creed that takes place in the 1600s and most of it ends in the end of the 1700s. More specifically, the right order is, now let's see in the correct order: Assassin's Creed 4, Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Rogue, and Assassin's Creed Unity. Now look, and Assassin's Creed Liberty as well. But now Assassin's Creed 3, I guess Assassin's Creed 3 and Liberty takes place at the same time because there is a moment in the story of this black woman when there's a mission that has to do with Kano. So that means 5 Assassin's Creed games, five by the way, there are 5 Assassin's Creed games that basically the first Assassin's Creed game takes place in the 1600s and Assassin's Creed Unity ends. It was the last Assassin's Creed game that technically it ends 1800s, and then it is basically the ending of the fifth of the 5 games of Assassin's Creed, which is really bizarre about it. But now you got to say, well, I mean, are you sure there are only those assassins? Well, yeah, because for sure. Otherwise, it's really bizarre, by the way, and it's kind of twisting in my head for a little while because it's kind of bizarre to me that technically there's an Assassin's Creed 4 game that takes place in the mid 1600s and Assassin's Creed Unity that takes place in the ending of 1700s. Which I'm doubting that technically there's a lot of story to be told because that doesn't make any sense. Because, you got to say for sure, but what about the adult version of the father of the son of Adru, or basically when Connor becomes an adult and then the guy that the technically was in Assassin's Creed Rog, or basically that. Well, that's really confusing to me also, because Assassin's Creed Unity, like I said before, takes place in the Frontal Revolution, which is this event takes place at the ending of the 1700s, and it spreads onto the 1800s. Here we go. And it took 5 minutes. I thought it would be taking 7 minutes, but okay. Now I could say, how is it feels technically you play a game that takes place in slavery? Well, I mean, there's a DLC called Assassin's Creed Black Flag that is a game that takes place also in Assassin's Creed 4 after the events of the main story. Also, remember the character who's basically at the beginning of the story of Andrew. I don't remember basically the guy, the pirate assassin, the name, but call him Andrew. That technically has a black friend that technically he always helped him, but then he left him to chase his own story. But then he has a trailer of his own. That technically he tell us the backstory that he was once a slave. Well, yeah, which I'm kind of impressed because I'm sure about the whole history of the of black people were once slaves, but I thought basically they were once slaves back then in the 1800s. Sorry, like I said before, I don't know the complete completion of the American story, or the other story perhaps. Why are you taking so long? I mean, I get that technically it's a remastered game, but come on, at least try to keep it a way of idea that it will always right. At least the Assassin's Creed 3, it wasn't taking too long to open. Remember what this one does? When you got to think about it, a Native American assassin is helping an African assassin, which is to be fair really awkward to me. I mean, now you got to say, Balcano is the grandson of Edward. Here you go, of Edward, and Edward was not having a black partner. Why not Carnos? Why not Carno? Well, it's kind of bizarre because, Carno is considered one of the strongest assassins in the Brotherhood of Assassins, but he helped by an assassin that technically considered one of the, I guess, really the most intelligent assassins. Just my handful. Damn. We are 9 minutes into the video, and I'm still waiting for the warning. This game takes place in a real life event. Type mission, type warning, which is not a warning. Just to show you that this one is takes place in a real life event. Yada yada yada. That makes it because Assassin's Creed games takes place in real life events or have a real life persons in the history events of our world. Here we go. Inspired by Hero yada yada la 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 la. Assassin's Creed Liberation. Here we go. Also, this game takes place in a PS Vita. Now for Assassin's Creed, it's a PS Vita game. Let me guess, you gonna yes.
Connect with the past. Relive history. Using Abstergo's incredible research into genetic memory, Animus gives you the chance to game within the past. The product you have purchased allows you to access the memories of Aveline de Cambrai, an 18th century assassin caught between two worlds.
Caught between two worlds.
To find her true
1859, holy shit.
history yours. History is our playground. Animus.
So anime is like a basically Templars, right? Keep in mind, those graphics are basically PlayStation Vita graphics. And imagine they are playing the PlayStation 5, man. Keep in mind, PS Vita was released back somewhere in 2000. The same era as the PlayStation 3 was released. Yeah, that's scary. Imagine changing a fucking kitchen, kitchen, yes, but holy shit!
Perfect for plantation work, monsieur. Look at this one. Hard-working, strong, healthy too. I told you to keep your place, Congo.
Oh, they were
As
slaves.
I was saying, monsieur, this one is strong as an ox. It's in good health. And old, not counting the missing toes.
Oh, they slaving blacks.
Pardon, madame.
You there! Battling pest! I'll have you arrested!
You're arresting a child? Why? That's fucked up. Okay, let's fight, motherfuckers. Jesus, benevolent curse, girl. Okay, that was a little bit my nerves at least to that, because basically, to be honest with you here, facing a fucking snake basically role is not for you.
Aveline? Ma chérie, you were shouting again.
Let me guess.
Was it
This game takes place in France, as usual.
Oui. Only a dream. I'm sorry to have woken you. Shh, ma chérie, shh. Never apologize. A mother worries, even a stepmother. Thank you, Madeleine. Maman, do you worry too? Did you forget me? Or are you gone? In any case, the night has better uses than sleep.
We have uncovered news of a plantation from which slaves are vanishing. The owners reported their escape, but our network can find no trace of them. If you don't know slave guys, perhaps you can investigate this mystery from within. A dressing chamber has been prepared for you in a strategic location. From the top of the cathedral, you will see it.
So they hire a black assassin. But now, to be fair, they always hire black assassins.
plantation. A perfect cover. Hide in a wagon and follow the cart to discover the location without being seen.
Uh-huh.
And that's it, guys. I got boy here. Last grab skit. I'll back close to make it. Do my guys for guys. But from sitting down now. The dreams always now. Well, technically, as a woman of the African accent, now technically you have to make sure that technically you're basically a hero of your people and of the world. Because if you do that, you'll be gone to a world of slavery. But luckily for you, you're the only woman black. You're the only black woman that to fix the problem. But can you fix the problem? Or you'll be too late for that. But it doesn't matter for your blackness and all. And that peace.